me, your girl, Miss Jennifer Pink, and I just wanted to talk to you guys for a little bit about how and why I was blocking my blessings, staying stuck, and barely surviving. I just had this amazing conversation with the man, and it just brought up some things that I remembered, and I just thought I'd share real quick. Hey, Lynette, and really give it to you guys. So for those that don't know, I am Miss Jennifer Pink, known affectionately as the Single Mom Sage because of my unique mission to support single moms on their journey and moving from surviving to thriving. Yes, we can thrive. We shall thrive. We thrive in spite of and because of. Hey, Cicely. Hey, cousin. Okay, so here's what I realized, and I'm going to give you one example to show what I mean. For those of you that don't know the story, let me give you a little backstory. My youngest son, his father is not his baby, right? It's the Immaculate Conception. I did it all by myself. He doesn't know what happened. And it didn't happen when my son was first born. It happened after my son's first birthday. So there were a lot of emotions that I had to deal with during that time. There were the emotions of, what you trying to say about me? Right? Like, you're attacking my character. Like, you're talking about me now. Like, you're trying to make it seem like I'm just out here just living the life. La vida loca, right? Getting it in. That's not who I am. So let's not pretend. And then, like, we don't know who you are. We don't know what you're out here doing. Like, you're the one with 8 kids, right? So no. So, like I said, there was a whole lot of that that I felt. Hey, Cindy. And then it shifted to my baby. And it was about how could you not love my baby? Like, my baby is amazing. My baby is gorgeous. Like, he is God on earth. Like, how could you not want to be a part of his life? How could you not want to be a part of this journey? Like, I don't even understand. Like, this, I can't fathom. And then I went into, oh my gosh, my son is not going to have a father. Like, there's all these there's just all these emotions, the same type of emotions that a lot of you feel. And let's just be honest, whether he's non-existent like mine or whether he's, sometimey or whatever he is, we have these feelings that we feel about how our kids are not going to be okay or how our kids are missing something, how our kids are now looked at as less than because they don't have. So how did I go from that place? Well, before I tell you how I went from that place to where I am today, what was that place doing to me? Let's be real. We all know our words have power, right? We say it all the time, you've got to speak wealth into your life. You've got to speak prosperity into your life. We say these things all the time. Words have power even over these types of situations. Like, for instance, the fact that I'm so focused on what I don't have and what I feel and the negativity of this situation, that's all I could see. That's all that was happening. That was it. That was my existence. It's the same thing when women say there are no good men. You keep putting that out, then that's exactly what it will be. No good men. That's all you will run into. That's all you will find. That's all you will encounter. It's the same exact thing. So I was literally staying stuck. I was literally staying in a place of being less than, being unworthy, and feeling like my child was less than and unworthy because of the actions of this man that I can't even control. I have no control over. So I was stuck, right? So here's what I had to do. And it took time. It took work. It took other people to get involved. I had to get from that place to the place where I feel like this is a blessing in disguise. This is amazing. This is the best thing that could have ever happened. And I made a post earlier where I said, I am so thankful. I am so appreciative. I just love him for being the man he is, for being exactly who he is. Because if he had not been exactly who he was, if he had been a copy image of who I wanted him to be, if he had pretended to be something else for my benefit or for the world's benefit, I would never have been able to grow to become who I am. I would have never been able to receive the blessings that I have received now. I would be stuck playing a part in his make-believe role. I would just be barely surviving because I was so caught up in the negativity of the situation, right? So how do I go from that to this? Here's how. I let it go. And I know we all say, oh, well, I've let it go. You know, I'm over it. It doesn't bother me. You know, it's just what it is. But when you still can say, I hate him, I dislike him, he pisses me off, the mere thought of him, his name, when all of that evokes emotion within you to the point where, you know, you frown up your face, where you like, where you make them eyes like, oh, Lord Jesus. You know, all those things, when it brings up that type of emotion within you, that means you haven't let it go. That means that it is constantly having a hold on the situation. And here's the amazing part. Here's something that we don't even really want to talk about. When it has a hold on us, it has a hold on our children. My son has no idea. He doesn't even fathom what it feels like to not have a father in his life. He doesn't even see a difference between him and the other children. He probably is a little more blessed. Like, let's just be honest. Let's keep it on the hush between you and me, right? And it's only because I got out of the way. I didn't stand in the way and say there's no man in my son's life. My son doesn't have a father. This is missing. This is lacking. He's not doing this. He's not doing that. I didn't stay in that space. I went into a space of, how do I change? How do I grow? How do I become better? How do I become the mother that he needs me to be in this situation? How do I fix me? And here's what happened. Not only did I fix me, not only did I grow, not only did I become better, but look what happened. I opened myself up to the blessings. My son has an amazing godfather who, I mean, you would swear it was his child. Like, he'd probably kill you over him, right? Like, that's his child. My son, you know, I've had 2 boyfriends before now, and they both have stepped up. And you know, in the time that we were together, were fathers to my son. They took my son on like they were their own. Like, this is their son. I'm like, okay. You know, and a lot of people told me, like, oh my gosh, don't do that to your son. He's going to have emotional trauma if you guys break up or this or that. But, you know, okay, let's be honest. When I was in the relationship, I didn't think it was ever going to end. Let's just be honest. I thought this was the one, right? But my son even still doesn't have those emotional baggage. He doesn't walk around. It's really funny because he will see pictures of my first ex-boyfriend and be like, who is that? Like, who is he? Oh, you don't even remember him? Like, it's crazy to me. Like, he was here for a whole year of your life. Like, you know, you were calling him dad. There was a transition period where after I broke up with my ex, my son did say, you know, like, oh, he doesn't love us, or he would ask for him, or he would want to see him, or different things of that nature. But I didn't play into it. I didn't give into the negativity of the situation, and I didn't tell my son, oh, you know, you're still loved, and I didn't do all that. Like, I kept it real, and we worked through it together. And I realized that when I got over the emotional attachment, when I got over the relationship, when I got over the feeling of, oh my gosh, like, what is about to happen to my son? What am I putting my son through? When I got over all of that is when the door opened for my son to be blessed. Like, my father has stepped up, not just as a grandfather, but as a father to my son. Like, and I've said that on more than one occasion. Like, it's been an amazing journey to watch my father be a grandfather to my kids, because he wasn't always the active father in my life. So it's been an amazing journey to watch that. But it's an even more amazing journey to see the relation. Like, he had, when Jocelyn needed him because there was nobody else, he was there. When Josiah needed him because there was nobody else, he was there. You see what I'm saying? So because I opened myself up to getting whatever the blessing was, whatever God had in store for us, it manifested. And it became a real life thing. You know, my stepdad, he's been a grandfather to all my kids. You know, he's always been there. And, you know, they're his grandkids. They're, you know, his kids, kind of, sort of, you know, because you know how that goes. Grandparents think they're the parents. Y'all know what I'm saying. But it's literally, I had to get out of the way. And I hear so many single moms saying, my kid doesn't have a father, my kid is missing out, my kid is lacking this. Because honestly, you are so focused on that and you are so consumed by that that you are stuck in that. And you are blocking the blessings that could come into your life. There are men out here who would love to be a big brother, who would love to play a father figure role on some level. There are, men that we have in our lives that, they're in the friend zone because that's not really, somebody we would want to date or marry, who would love to step up into your children's lives. But we are blocked and we are so sheltered from what we feel and what we're going through that we don't let it happen, that we stay closed off from it, right? Like even as far as I look at the situation with my oldest and one of her siblings' mothers, like allowing her to be a blessing to my child and be a second mother to my child when I'm, not there or when she's with them, has opened my child up to feel something greater than I could even give her on my own. But we stay stuck and we block the blessing that could be coming, and we stay in a surviving space because of what we feel. And you've got to get out of your feelings. I say it over and over and over again, and I know many of you go like, well, I let it go. I'm over it. Like, I'm not harping on it. But then you follow it up with, but I don't like him. But I dislike him. But I hate him. But I wish he would just, go this way or go that way. That's you being stuck in your feelings. And you've got to get out of them. Because here's what we all say, one thing I hear a lot of single mothers say is, I'm not alone because God is with me, right? God is here to help me raise my children. Let me tell you something about Jesus. God does not come down from heaven and hold your hand and help you raise your baby. He don't do that. If he do, and you know about it, let me know about it, because I've never seen it. I've never experienced it. I don't know nothing about it. God gives us other people. God puts people in our life to be a blessing to us, to show us God on earth, to help us walk through something, right? To get to the other side. So if you're closed off from other people, if you're closed off from the village coming in to help you, then how is it going to happen? How does it happen? I hear us say things like, I'm just trying to protect my child and I'm trying to, do what's best for my child. And in all honesty, like, let's just keep it real. We're doing what's best for us. We're trying to protect ourselves because children are the most resilient beings on the face of the earth, right? Children can go through some things and come out on the other side and be A-OK, untarnished, unbothered, unscathed, unbruised. But it all depends on what we give them and how we confine them. Like I said, look at my kids. Look at my situation. I have 3 kids by 3 different men. By all statistics, by all standards, I should be barely surviving. I should be at the bottom of the barrel. I should feel like I am less than. I am worthless. I should feel like I will never get married. I would never find love. Just all these different things that I should feel if I just stay stuck in that moment. But you can't stay stuck in it. You can't allow what you feel to overwhelm what you need to do and where you need to go. So when I tell you guys, let it go, I mean it. I mean it from the bottom of my heart, from the depths of my soul. And not to let it go like, you don't talk about it as much. Not to let it go where, it is what it is. Let it go. And here's what you really have to let go of, the expectation. Because we all believe that when we have children, they are going to have an amazing mother and an amazing father. They're going to have these 2 awesome figures in their lives who are going to love them, put them first, show them everything and give them a better life than they've had. That's what we believe. And there's nothing wrong with that belief. That's not what I'm saying. But here's what happens. We don't set out to date and marry amazing people who will do this amazing thing. We don't. We settle for Tom, Dick, Harry, Bob, Billy, John, all them people who are not capable of being amazing fathers. And some of us are not amazing mothers. We've got a lot of ways to grow, to learn, to be better, right? So when you're dealing with this, you can't hold someone who's here to this expectation. Like, it doesn't work. That's not who they are. You've got to let them be exactly who they are. And I've noticed this with more than just my youngest father. With my oldest father, I had to just, all right, dude, this is just who you are. This is who you are going to be. Like, cool. Let me just be me and who you are. Like, let's just figure out how we work together. I worked on our relationship from the aspect of working on me. I didn't work on our relationship by telling him what to do, because that didn't work. I didn't work on our relationship by telling him how to be a father, because that didn't work. I had to work on me. How do I become a better mother? How do I become a better communicator? How do I work with him better? See, that's what I started to focus on. And here's what happened. Our relationship today is nothing like it was 12 years ago. Nothing. We good. Like, we real good, right? Like, 12 years ago when I needed a place to stay and I was homeless and I was broke and I was like, could you help your sister out with $50? He was like, I don't know what to tell you. Call your mama. That's what they would tell me. Call your mama. Today, when a conversation is had and says, okay, look, I'm struggling a little bit. I need a little bit of help with this. I need this or whatever it is. And the conversation doesn't even have to come from me. It can now come from my husband. Do you know what he says? Let me see what I got. Give me 5 minutes. Give me 10 minutes. And boom, he's making something happen. Something happened. That relationship is 300% different. Not because, he's changed. He's a different person. He's matured and he's grown in a lot of different ways. But I can't take responsibility for that. The only thing I can say that I know happened is I changed. I stopped blocking the blessings. I am no longer stuck. And I'm no longer surviving in the relationship. I'm doing me, and I'm doing me well. I have become who I was purposed to be. I've allowed all these things that have happened in my life make me better. Not bitter, not 1 ounce of bitterness. And I'm not going to tell you that I wasn't bitter, that I didn't have times of bitterness, that bitterness didn't seep in and take root and have a hold on me, because it did. But I had to let it go. I had to get out the way, because as long as I was in the way, it wasn't going to get better. I was going to stay stuck. I wasn't going to be blessed the way I could be blessed. I was not going to go from a surviving to a thriving place. And this is what I'm trying to help you, the single mothers in this world, understand. It is not about going back to change what we've done, because we can't, right? Like, it's done. What's done is done. Only thing we can do is to grow from it, to learn from it, and to become better because of it. Let our past make us better. Let it make us make better decisions for tomorrow. Let it make our kids better. Let it eventually make our co-parenting relationships better, right? I can also give the example of my middle son. Lord will tell you that there's some things that he and his family do that just irk my soul, right? Like, I just be like, why? Why would you do that? Like, that makes no sense. But I don't get up. I have the moment of when it happens of, really, dude? What? I have that moment. And then what I do is, that's who he is. That's who they are. So let's just move on to the next part. What do we need to do now, right? What can I do to help my child in spite of? What can I do to show my child something better, something different? That's exactly what we have to do. If you want your co-parenting relationship to be peaceful and harmonious, if you want to let go of the baggage, the stress, the emotions, the drama, the feelings. This is what you gotta do. Like, this is what you gotta do. And here's what's really interesting, right? We want the one. We want our future mate. We want our husband. As long as you are holding on to all of that other junk, it's not going to come. As long as you are holding on to what he did, how he did you wrong, what your mama did, what your daddy did, how they weren't here, how they didn't step up, how they're not supporting you, how they're not holding your hand, how they're not this and they're not that, and what they did to you, it will not come. It won't. I guarantee you, I had to work through my mama issues and my daddy issues to get here. Because there's no way that I can be in a space of complete peace, complete harmony, complete freedom, and hold on to some of this junk. The two cannot coexist. So I'm going to tell y'all like this. As long as you are still mad at your baby daddy, you will not find true peace and harmony in a relationship. It will always come up. And I'm not talking about coming up between you and that man. I'm not talking about coming up as a fight between. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about it will always come up in you. There will always be something. There will always be a twinge or a feeling or something that will keep you from true peace and true harmony. And I share this with you guys because I am so passionate about us going from surviving to thriving. I am extremely passionate about changing the single mother community. I want to see us married and happy and living life and talking about when I was a single mom. That's what I want to see. I want to see this epidemic of single motherhood squashed, ended. What? That was back in the the 2000s. That was back then. I don't want it to keep happening. I don't want it to keep growing. But it's going to if we don't take the time to work on ourselves. If we don't take the time to let it go. You got to let it go, my sister. And for those of you who know me know, this is what I do. If anybody is ready to let it go, if anybody is ready to move from a place of surviving to thriving, even if you think, well, I'm good, like I got a cool little job and, I'm making some money and I got my business and things are okay, we both know that you still got that space in your heart that is just stuck, that space in your heart that is barely surviving, that space that is holding on to some stuff. If you are ready, just holler. Let me know. Let's make this thing happen. Why do I want it so bad for you? Because I want it even more for your children. I want it for the next generation because this is what we've got to do. We've got to let it go, right? So I just really wanted to share this with you guys because, I had this amazing conversation with the man, and I just felt like it was something that I needed to share in a video with you guys. So if you guys love it, if you like it, if any part of this message hit home with you, make sure that you share it. Feel free to tag a single mom that needs this message. And let's just grow together as a family, as a village, right? Let's let it go. Until next time, I wish you love, peace, and baby powder freshness. Mwah.